The focus of today's video is really discussing our bell schedules. The first bell schedule that you see in front of you is our 50% model, our orange schedule, and it's the first week of school. I want to first note that it's important that students are aware whether they are noted as a student or a B student. A students are going to be returning to school on the first day of school, August 31st. If you are a B student, you are going to be at home on that first day of school. The first day of school for you will be September 1st, the next day. As we look through these schedules, if it is a black day assignment to our bell schedule, those are our traditional days we've had in previous years of being 1, periods 3, periods 5, and period 7. Students in the building are going to follow that, and on a traditional orange schedule, when we are more than the first day of school in, students on the B schedule would be working on those periods during that period of time at home. Now, those lessons at home traditionally cannot be what they call synchronous at the same time, because this teacher is going to be teaching those students that those students at home would be traditionally working on reading more of their books that they're doing, or doing essays, or working on things of that nature. But again, we're talking about the first day of school. So first day of school, students in A report, and students in B are at home. That changes on the second day of school, when students in B come to school, and then A do go at home. I guess the best way to visually see this is students on this first day, you're coming to school, and A, on the second day, you are going to be at home. Likewise, you B students, your first day of school is September 1st, where you will be following this schedule. I hope that part is clear. I know it's complicated. I know it's kind of frustrating to figure out. Trust me, the entire COVID era of education, specifically in the barriers and structure that we have here in our high school with class sizes, created a lot of creative thinking here. So the first week of school, we're going to be following this model. Students in A will report on August 31st for their classes. Students in B will report on September 1st for all of their classes. And then you might say, okay, what about the other courses that my son or daughter has? Or if this is a student watching, what about those classes I have for the other days? Then we get into September 2nd. And you might say, wait a second, B was just in school. B's in again? Well, it's a 4-day week. And in a traditional Orange Day model, that would have been a 100% hybrid day. But on the first week of school, we are getting our B students in because it would have been a day they would have missed, because Friday we don't have school that week. So on September 2nd, on our Red Day model, students are going to be reporting on their schedule to what is identified as being as white inside of this box. If I were able to take this and show you that students are going to be reporting to school for their topper time and their circuit. During that time, students are going to be going into freshman mentoring for those that have it. Those are going to go into topper times where they can work on their graduation seals, and our Circuit of Success courses are going to be running. This is a little bit different than in previous years. It is still a late start because teachers are going to be working in their PLCs in the morning. Students can arrive to school at regular time. We will socially distance them in the gymnasium. But one of the key things we haven't had before in the past is these office hours during a late start. Teachers are going to be working on office hours. Students can enter into Google Meets set up by the teachers to get support for all of their classes. And then students that are returning to school on this B day, they were going to have their periods 2, 4, and also 6. Many people might say, well, what's this ABC that I see in all of these periods? Those are the lunch periods. Whether we're talking about 5th period or we're talking about fourth period, a student has on their schedule a B, a C, or a D. Traditionally, all A's are going to be eighth graders so they can eat together inside of the cafeteria. B, C, and D will be a combination of grades 9 through 12. Keep in mind that this is a 50% model, so 50% of those students that are in the building are going to be inside of 4 lunch periods. So we're talking less than 100 kids, way less than 100 kids in a capacity of about 350 are going to be inside of the cafeteria that we have even expanded into the auxiliary gym. So on September 2nd, like I said, students in B are going to be reporting to school. They're going to go through their 2, 4, and 6, their even day classes. Students that are in A, they are going to be at home for these classes. But again, these students haven't had or haven't experienced these classes, so this is kind of be like a off day for them because they might be working on things from other courses they had the day before. Then on September 3rd, our students who were at home in the A, they are going to be coming into school for September 3rd to experience all of their 2, 4, 6, and then students who are in B, they are going to be at home. Again, the same model occurs where teachers are in collaboration. Then followed through that, students can do online office hours with their teachers, and then the time that they need to report to school for their first class or first experience is that 8:24, where they will have their freshman mentoring, their top of time, and 8th grade will have their circuit of success before they transition into their first academic course of the day. With that in mind, I want to make sure that a lot of these things are very complicated, and Kelly Mish has been sending out many communications. Likewise, we have been doing so at the high school. This has been identified in our quick reference guide, and students might say, parents might say, okay, I'm 100% online. What do I do for the first day of school? Likewise, students in the blue model, you have periods 1, 3, 5, 7 on the first day of school because you are not identified really as an A or B in a blue model. And then you have 1, 3, 5, 7 the next day. That is the first week of school. Most likely teachers are going to want to know their students, get to know them, do some breakout sessions with them before deploying any specific work for our blue day. And then again, on the second day, the 2, 4, 6, they're going to meet their students and they will probably include some work for them to do. And that would conclude our first week of school because we have Friday, September 4th as a day off for students as they transition into PD here, teachers at PD, and then it goes into Labor Day weekend. And that's where I'm going to pause and then I'm going to transition here into our yellow schedule. All right, now I want to talk to you about our regular schedule. Dr. Hanlon has communicated to all families, including our Board of Education, that on September 8th, we are going to be, or the week of September 8th, we are going to be deploying our yellow schedule, our regular bell schedule across the district. And this is where it's very traditional for all of our students and very familiar. What we have is our school colors, and we follow that for our bell schedules. Monday, Tuesday, and Friday is what we call as our white day schedules. And those schedules for those periods, students will have all of their periods, and it will be identified in their schedule when it is and where they need to go. And what's really important for me to share with you is that on that first week of school, we are going to help all of our students, specifically those new to the building, understand what they do, where they go, and how they get to where they're going, because we can typically have orientations, and that's why I had to make the videos that kind of walk students through our building in a virtual manner. The first week of school will allow our teachers to help those students so that when we return to a full plan, we're taking our black model, our red model, merging it in so that students can have 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down through 7. So inside of that schedule, I will show you here that students were going to have 7 of their periods. All of the experiences that they had on their orange schedule are now mashed into what we call the white day schedule. Classes are 47 minutes. They have transition times. Students are then, like I said, going into a 5th period experience, whether it's 8th grade, you are going to be having lunch, and students will also be going into their freshman mentoring and topper time during the same time that students eat lunch. During 5th period, students also have a class. So freshmen, you would go from A into a B, C class, and then also in D, you would have a circuit of success. This might seem very complicated. It's not complicated. You can ask any of our to-be 9th graders about this transition. It's really a simple transition, and we're going to help walk you through this. So you might say, okay, so Monday and Tuesday I follow this schedule. What do you do on Wednesday? On Wednesday, we have our late start Wednesday. Teachers have PLCs in the morning. Our first class begins at 8:58. You might say, well, okay, what about transportation? Transportation, regardless of the schedule, runs at the traditional times where students can come to school and be able to have experiences, whether it is immediately going into a 1st period class or a 2nd period class, or they would be housed before they would go into their topper time or circuit of success. On a red day, there's a late start delay for all students. We begin class at 8:58, and we are able to go through the 2-4-6 that I previously mentioned to you for all of our classes. What this really does, is allow our students to have a 47-minute class and have all of them on a Monday, 47-minute class and all of them on a Tuesday, and then dig deeper into the content on a Wednesday with a block, and then on a Thursday with a block with their teachers, and then close out learning with their students back on a white day schedule of having all of their periods. The schedule has been very, very successful here. We have seen such growth both in our academic growth in our classes and even in test scores, but the enrichment of content with our students. You know, relationships are the key to anything, and the more that you can spend time with a teacher and or your peers, the stronger your class and your learning will be. So again, in summary, I did take time to talk to you about our orange schedule. Our orange schedules are 50-50 model, where kids are broken into A and B. I took time to talk to you a little bit about our yellow schedule, which is our 100%, where students will come to school every single day, regardless if you're A or B. Regardless if you're a blue day schedule, you will be entering those class periods that we have aligned for those times, and those teachers will deploy learning through those class periods. And it balances out however how many classes you have throughout the week. Certainly, this is very, very new to many of you. And for some of you who are freshmen through senior, like second hand, got this, don't worry about me. But our students are very resilient, and they really mold. If you're really worried about your son or daughter and how this will work inside of the new experience, no worries. We're gonna guide them. We're gonna help them. We're gonna support them. Really important is that next week we are going to also, or actually there will be this week, when this video comes out, have a YouTube live so we can answer questions to all parents that are new to the district. I really appreciate all of you, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your smiling masks come very soon. Take care.